Hey y'all, here's your haunted story. Okay, don't come looking for me or nothing. So when me and my brother were younger, we used to get volunteered a lot for things that we didn't want to do. My mom would volunteer our services a lot. So one day she was around her childhood friend, and I heard her say, we weren't listening to them for real, but all of a sudden we heard my mama say, yeah, the kids can help you. Me and my brother both looked and we was like, well, what? And she was like, help her clean her house out. So we like, oh, okay, like when she said clean her house, we thinking maybe she just needed help like getting behind the furniture, like deep cleaning, moving things around heavy, heavy things that she can't really do because she's older. Wasn't old like that, but at that time, I think my mom was like in her early or late 40s. She was in her late 40s. But, so older, but not old. So we're like, okay, she probably just can't do it herself. So my mom, she dropped us off with masks, gloves, everything we needed. We're going to this woman's house. My mom grew up with this woman. We went to this woman's house. And as soon as we got in there, we could barely get past the door because that's how much stuff was in that house. Okay, it was like a hoarding house. Not as bad as those, but definitely bad. So we started moving things immediately. Started throwing things right on in that dumpster that woman had rented. And we started just tossing. Now, my brother is really nonchalant. He doesn't let things bother him the way I let things bother me. So he was like, I'm feeling sick. I was like, yeah, me too. I was like, I don't feel good. And so then he's just like, he said, let's finish up and then we'll go down the street and go to that McDonald's. So we finished up a little bit, went down the street to the McDonald's for a break. Once we were done, we came back to this woman's house. And when we got back in there, my brother was just like, he's like, Jay, look. We both look over. It's a woman. Very pretty lady, but angry. And so when we saw that, we was just like, oh, okay. But the spirit wasn't the only thing that was angry. The woman, whose house we were cleaning, all of a sudden she was being nasty towards us. And we were just like, okay, she wasn't acting like that before. Like she was acting like a true jerk. Okay, real big jerk. So my brother was just like, he's like, well, just ignore her. He said, let's just finish this stuff out so we can call mama to come get us. We go down the basement because she told us she had a lot of stuff down there too. She wanted to, to throw in the dumpster. So we go down the basement. As soon as we go down there, we see this real dark entity, but it's like moving about real fast. Don't want to stop. So we just grabbed the stuff and we going up the stairs, but it grabbed my ankle. And I said, he got my ankle. My brother was like, okay, nah. He said, hey, we got work to do. We my brother, like I said, is nonchalant. He don't care who you are. He's like, hey, we trying to get out of here. So leave us alone. Let go of my ankle. We go up the stairs. But as soon as we go up the stairs, we notice that the darkness in the house and the anger in the house is coming directly from that entity. And so we called my mom, and I'm like, Mom, like, did you notice she had all this stuff in here? And she was just like, what? She got a ton of stuff? I was like, yeah. I'm like a hoarder's house. She was like, you kidding? So she's like, I'm on my way. So my mom gets there, and she looks around the house, and she said her friend's name, and she was like so sad. She said, you didn't tell us that it was this bad. We could have got more help. And so her friend is just like, I didn't want, anybody to see me living like this. I'm embarrassed. So my mom was like, okay, I can understand that. So my mom saw the woman, the female spirit, and she starts asking questions. She says, so who, somebody passed away here? She's like, my sister did. She passed away back there in the bedroom. But then me and my brother told her about the dark one that was in the basement. So my mom was just like, take me to the basement. Took her to the basement. And when she went down there, she was like, that darkness is down there because of all this stuff that you have in this house. She said, they love when it's real dirty or crowded in a house because it's almost like they can hide behind those things. So me and my brother was like, so if your house dirty, they attached to it? She said, yeah. She said, why you think we always moving our furniture around or cleaning? She said, because they get attached to filth. They love filth. They thrive in it. She said, so when it's filthy and it's a ton of stuff laying around, she said they attach to it and they can really thrive in those kind of environments. And they just, they just like, okay, I'm chilling. This is my little space. It's my area. Me and my brother was like, what? So keep in mind, So after that, after my mom identified like the bad entity in the basement and whatever, we noticed that it got more active. And when it got active, it got real active. My mother even stayed to help us, finish cleaning it up so that she could, help the woman bless the house after. When I tell y'all that thing was angry that we were moving that stuff, because it just was bouncing left, right, left, right, left, right, going back and forth, okay, trying to hide. But it couldn't hide in the filth anymore because the basement started to get cleared out. And once that basement got cleared out, my mama blessed it down there, okay? I don't understand why they like filth so much, but they do. And I guess that's where that saying comes in, that cleanliness is next to godliness. Because, baby, when I tell you, there was no more entity there after my mom was done cleaning that house, after we deep cleaned everything, threw everything out. It wasn't even there anymore. And that spirit that we saw, that woman's sister that passed away in that house, she was there, but she didn't seem angry anymore. Y'all better clean y'all house.